Listen to me. Before you ask God for another thing, before you let stress steal your peace, before you let fear and doubt take over your mind, stop. You better pause, you better breathe, and you better thank God. You didn't wake yourself up this morning. That breath in your lungs, God gave it to you. That heartbeat pumping through your chest, God sustained it. That new opportunity today, God's grace delivered it. And let me tell you something powerful. If you want to see supernatural favor, if you want to experience breakthrough, if you want doors to fly open that no man can shut, it's time to shift your mindset. It's time to praise your way into victory, because gratitude is not optional for champions. Thanksgiving is not a suggestion for believers. It's a kingdom principle. It's a spiritual law. It's a success habit. So today we're about to walk through why your next level, your next blessing, your next miracle is hiding on the other side of your praise and your gratitude. Let's get it. Gratitude is the gateway to breakthrough. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling. It's not just an emotional response when life is going well. Gratitude is a spiritual principle, a law of increase, and a key that unlocks the supernatural resources of heaven. It is the gateway to breakthrough. If you're sitting around waiting for your breakthrough to show up before you say thank you, you're already missing the point. You're blocking the very thing you're asking God for. Gratitude is the divine access point where natural limitation meets supernatural intervention. When you start thanking God for what you have, even when it doesn't look like enough, you create spiritual momentum. You create a shift in the unseen realm. Why? Because gratitude is an act of faith, and faith is the currency of the kingdom. God doesn't respond to begging. He responds to faith. And gratitude is faith in action. When you open your mouth and say, God, I thank you, even while you're standing in the middle of lack, even while the report says it's over, even when people around you are saying it's impossible, you're making a spiritual announcement. I trust you, God, more than I trust my circumstances. Gratitude realigns your thinking. It shifts your emotions. It pushes back doubt. It shuts the mouth of fear. It silences the whispers of the enemy. It reminds your soul who's in control. Gratitude tells your situation, my God is bigger than this. You want to experience breakthrough in your finances? Start thanking God for the money you already have, no matter how small. Do you want healing in your body? Start thanking Him for every part of you that's working every day of life you've been given. Do you want restoration in your relationships? Start thanking God for the people in your life and for the love that's still available to you. The mistake too many people make is waiting for the victory to appear before they start celebrating. But kingdom principles work the opposite way. You celebrate your way into victory. You praise your way into healing. You thank your way into overflow. Breakthrough isn't something you wait for. It's something you thank your way into. When the children of Israel walked around the walls of Jericho, they didn't wait for the walls to fall before they shouted. They shouted first, and then the walls came down. That's how gratitude works. It's your shout of faith before the manifestation shows up. When you choose gratitude, you position yourself under an open heaven. You invite angelic assistance. You set spiritual laws in motion. Gratitude attracts the favor of God. It attracts divine strategies. It unlocks provision that's already waiting for you. But here's what's even more powerful. Gratitude isn't just for when you're asking for something. It's a lifestyle. It's the language of people who walk in victory. It's the daily declaration of someone who knows that God is good, God is faithful, and God is working behind the scenes even when they can't see it. There's no such thing as a complaining champion. There's no such thing as a fearful worshiper. People who walk in breakthrough are people who have learned how to thank God through tears, through trials, through delays, and through discomfort. They've learned that gratitude is their gateway, it's their weapon, it's their lifeline. If you're tired of cycles of defeat, tired of feeling stuck, tired of waiting on breakthrough, the first thing you need to do is check your gratitude level, because you can't enter new levels with an ungrateful heart. God doesn't promote complainers. He promotes praisers. He promotes those who are faithful with little, those who choose to say thank you, God, even when they're holding what seems like not enough. That's why gratitude isn't optional. It's essential. It's foundational. It's your access code to the next level. Gratitude is the gateway to breakthrough. Thanking God shifts your focus from problems to possibilities. Your focus is your filter. Whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, you magnify them. You breathe life into them. You start seeing more reasons to feel defeated, discouraged, and stuck. But the moment you shift your focus, the moment you stop rehearsing the problem and start thanking God for the possibilities, everything begins to change. Thanking God is like putting on a new set of lenses. It's a spiritual recalibration. It forces your mind to stop obsessing over what's wrong and start recognizing what's right. And when you start looking at your situation through the lens of gratitude, you stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as opportunities for God to show himself strong. Here's the truth. Most people get trapped in cycles of negativity because their focus stays on what they don't have, what's not working, and what went wrong. They talk more about their problems than their promises. They rehearse their limitations more than they declare God's provision. And that mindset creates a toxic atmosphere where miracles can't breathe. But when you shift into thanksgiving, your spiritual posture changes. You stop magnifying the enemy's attacks and start magnifying God's ability. You stop replaying defeat and start rehearsing victory. You stop asking why me and start declaring God is with me. Thanking God lifts you out of pity parties and plants you firmly in the place of praise. It reminds your soul that if God did it before, he can do it again. It opens your spiritual eyes to solutions you couldn't see before. Because let me tell you something, as long as you're staring at the problem, you're blind to the possibilities. God isn't moved by problems. He's moved by faith. And faith grows in the soil of gratitude. You might be in a financial drought right now, but instead of staring at your empty bank account, start thanking God that he's your provider, that he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, that he makes a way where there seems to be no way. You might be battling sickness, but instead of focusing on every ache and pain, start thanking God that by his stripes you are healed, that your body is coming into divine alignment, that health is your covenant promise. You might be going through relationship struggles, but instead of replaying every argument and disappointment, start thanking God for restoration, for healing, for peace that passes understanding. When you choose to thank God, your language changes. Your energy changes. Your expectation changes. And when your expectation changes, you start attracting solutions. You start seeing open doors you couldn't see before. You start walking in rooms with confidence you didn't have before. You start carrying a mindset of victory instead of victimhood. Thanksgiving forces your perspective to zoom out. It takes your eyes off the mountain and puts them on the God who moves mountains. It breaks the cycle of negativity and births a new cycle of hope, faith, and forward momentum. This is why daily gratitude is non-negotiable. It's how you train your spirit to see beyond what's wrong and lean into what's possible. Because when you focus on possibilities, you start walking in divine solutions that were already waiting for you, but your negative focus was keeping you blind. Praise unlocks supernatural favor. Praise is not just a song you sing in church. It's not just a slow hymn or a fast beat. Praise is a spiritual force. It's a divine key that unlocks supernatural favor over your life. Favor doesn't chase complainers. Favor doesn't find the people sitting in the corner feeling sorry for themselves. Favor flows towards those who know how to open their mouths and praise God even when it doesn't make sense. You want to experience favor that sets you apart? Start praising God when you're still in the hallway, waiting for the door to open. Start praising him when the bank account is low. Start praising him when people are counting you out. Praise is a declaration that you trust God's plan more than your own understanding. Favor shows up in places where gratitude lives and praise thrives. When you praise God, you create a heavenly atmosphere around your life. You invite angelic assistance. You stir up the presence of God. You become a magnet for blessings that no man can explain. Praise confuses the enemy. While the enemy is busy setting traps, your praise is tearing them down. Remember Paul and Silas? They were locked in prison, beaten, shackled, surrounded by darkness, but at midnight, they lifted their voices and started praising God. They weren't praising because they were comfortable. They weren't praising because their circumstances looked good. They were praising because they knew something the enemy didn't know, that praise would shift the atmosphere. And what happened? The prison shook. Doors flew open. Chains fell off. That wasn't just coincidence. That was supernatural favor responding to their praise. Some of you are sitting in a prison of fear, doubt, or depression, waiting for the chains to fall off. But let me tell you, those chains won't break by themselves. They're waiting for your praise. They're waiting for you to stop magnifying the problem and start magnifying your God. Praise isn't about ignoring reality. It's about declaring a higher reality. It's about saying, God, I see the facts, but I choose to speak the truth. And the truth is that you are faithful, you are powerful, you are my deliverer, you are my provider, you are my healer. Praise turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Praise takes you from overlooked to overfavored. It opens doors no man can shut. It causes policies to change, decisions to shift, and hearts to turn in your direction. Praise makes people look at you and wonder, how did that happen for them? And your answer will always be the same. It's the favor of God. When you make praise your lifestyle, favor becomes your companion. Things start happening for you that you didn't work for, you didn't qualify for, and you didn't expect. But that's the nature of supernatural favor. It's not earned, it's accessed through faith. And praise is faith expressed. Praise releases what worry can't. Praise accomplishes what stress never will. Praise shifts the spiritual climate over your life. It invites the glory of God to rest on you in ways that open doors, multiply resources, and align circumstances for your good. Favor looks for a sound. Favor responds to a frequency. And that frequency is praise. It's the sound of faith rising above fear. It's the sound of victory before the battle is over. It's the sound of someone who knows that God is already working behind the scenes. That's why when you want to unlock supernatural favor, you don't sit silent. You open your mouth and praise your way into the next level. Your next blessing is one prayer of thanks away. You're closer to your breakthrough than you think. You're closer to the next level, the next open door, the next divine connection. And what stands between you and that next blessing is not a complicated formula, not a 10-step process, not months of waiting. It's one prayer of thanks away. One genuine, faithful, from the heart prayer of thanksgiving can shift everything. One moment where you stop focusing on what's missing and start thanking God for what's coming. One declaration where you say, God, I thank you that it's already done. Some people have been circling the same mountain for years because they've been praying out of desperation instead of praying out of gratitude. They've been asking and asking, but never stopping to say thank you for what God has already done. And let me tell you something powerful. God responds to faith, not fear. Gratitude is faith's loudest voice. Your next financial breakthrough, one prayer of thanks away. Your next business opportunity, one prayer of thanks away. Your next healing, one prayer of thanks away. Your next divine connection, the right person showing up at the right time, one sincere, faith-filled, intentional prayer of thanks away. When you stop begging and start thanking, you tell God, I believe you've already heard me. I believe you've already made a way. I trust your timing. I trust your process. I trust your plan. There's something about gratitude that accelerates the blessing. It shortens the waiting season because gratitude doesn't operate in fear or lack. Gratitude is the language of someone who knows the blessing is already on the way. Sometimes the delay you're experiencing isn't because God said no, it's because you haven't activated the blessing with thanksgiving. The enemy loves to keep you in a cycle of asking without receiving because he knows that ungratefulness closes spiritual door. But the moment you shift into thanks, you unlock what's been held up. Think about the story of Jesus feeding the 5,000. The disciples were panicking. All they saw was lack. Not enough bread, not enough fish. But what did Jesus do? He lifted up what little they had and gave thanks. And when he thanked God for what was in his hands, multiplication happened. That's a blueprint for you. Look at what's already in your hands. It may not seem like enough. It may look like just a little, but if you'll stop complaining about the size and start thanking God for the seed, he will multiply it. The same God who multiplied the loaves and fishes is still in the business of taking little and making it much. Thanksgiving takes your focus off the natural and locks you into the supernatural. That's why it's an event. It takes your eyes off the bank statement and puts them on Jehovah Jireh. It takes your eyes off the diagnosis and puts them on Jehovah Rapha. It takes your eyes off the closed door and puts them on the God of open doors. Every time you pray a prayer of thanks, you're sending a signal to heaven. I'm ready. I believe. I'm expecting. And heaven responds to expectation. Angels are dispatched. Resources start moving. People's hearts start stirring. The favor that's been hovering over your life begins to locate you with precision. You don't have to wait until everything looks perfect. Start thanking God right now. Thank him for what he's already done. Thank him for what he's doing that you can't see. Thank him for the doors that are opening. Thank him for the healing that's manifesting. Thank him for the favor that's being released. It's one prayer away, one moment of genuine thanksgiving away from the next level, one shift in your prayer life away from the blessing you've been believing for. Gratitude activates faith, and faith activates miracles. Gratitude is not just a positive attitude. It's not just good manners. It's not just a nice thing to do before a meal or at the end of the day. Gratitude is a faith activator. It stirs something in your spirit that unlocks heaven's resources. Every time you choose gratitude, you're telling God, I trust you even when I can't trace you. You see, faith isn't about waiting until everything makes sense. Faith is believing in what you can't see. And gratitude is the evidence that your faith is alive and active. When you say thank you, God, even before the blessing shows up, you're putting a demand on the atmosphere. You're saying, God, I know you're working. I know you're moving. I know you've already dispatched the answer. Miracles don't happen where doubt is reigning. They happen where faith is speaking. And gratitude is faith with a voice. It's the language of people who expect miracles. It's the daily declaration of people who believe that God can turn situations around in an instant. Remember the story of the 10 lepers? All 10 were healed, but only one came back to thank Jesus. And what did Jesus say? He said, your faith has made you whole, not just healed, whole. There's a level of completion that only comes when you mix your faith with gratitude. Healing may touch your body, but gratitude touches your spirit. It closes the gap. It finishes what God started. When you start thanking God in advance, you're moving into miracle territory. That's when the supernatural starts accelerating. That's when things begin to happen that defy logic and natural law, because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And gratitude is the visible evidence that your faith is engaged. If you want to see miracles in your finances, start thanking God the provision is already on the way. If you want to see miracles in your health, start thanking God that healing is already yours. If you want to see restoration in your relationship, start thanking him for reconciliation even before it happens. Too many people think they need more faith when what they really need is more gratitude, because gratitude waters the seed of faith. It keeps it alive. It keeps it growing. It keeps your spirit expectant. You can't be grateful and fearful at the same time. You can't be grateful and hopeless at the same time. Gratitude pulls you out of worry and drops you into faith. Every thank you you speak is like fuel in the engine of your miracle. It builds momentum. It pushes back doubt. It silences the lies of the enemy. It clears the fog of confusion and makes room for clarity, direction, and divine intervention. Gratitude reminds you of who God is. It recenters your faith on his character, not your circumstances. It shifts your expectation from the natural to the supernatural. When you start your day with gratitude, you're declaring, God, I believe something good is going to happen today. When you end your day with gratitude, you're declaring, God, I trust you're still working on my behalf. Faith without works is dead. And gratitude is one of the most powerful works of faith you can engage in. It's faith in motion. It's faith with breath in its lungs and praise on its lips. Miracles happen in the atmosphere of gratitude. They show up where faith is already celebrating the answer. Stop magnifying problems and start magnifying God. Whatever you magnify becomes bigger in your mind, your heart, and your spirit. If you keep rehearsing your problems, they'll start to feel like giants. They'll overwhelm you. They'll steal your peace. They'll drain your energy. But the moment you choose to stop magnifying your problems and start magnifying God, your whole reality shifts. Magnifying God doesn't mean ignoring the problem. It means putting the problem in proper perspective. It means reminding yourself that your God is bigger than your bills, bigger than your diagnosis, bigger than your broken relationships, and bigger than any door that seems closed right now. Too many people walk around with a magnifying glass on their pain. They talk more about what's going wrong than what's going right. They spend more time analyzing what they lost than thanking God for what they still have. And that mindset becomes a breeding ground for fear, anxiety, and defeat. But when you choose to magnify God, you're making a decision to shift your focus. You're saying, God, you are my source. You are my strength. You are my healer. You are my provider. You are my way maker. And no matter what I see, I believe you're working all things together for my good. Magnifying God is an act of faith. It's choosing to exalt his power over your problems. It's waking up in the morning and declaring his promises before the enemy can whisper his lies. It's filling your mouth with praise instead of panic. It's speaking life instead of rehearsing death. When David stood before Goliath, he didn't magnify the size of the giant. He magnified the size of his God. He didn't talk about how strong Goliath was. He talked about how faithful God was. And that mindset gave him the courage to step onto the battlefield and secure the victory. You have to make the same choice. Every time you face a problem, you have two options: magnify the problem or magnify your God. One leads to fear, paralysis, and defeat. The other leads to faith, action, and breakthrough. Magnifying God doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you attract. When you talk more about God's faithfulness than your frustrations, you start attracting solutions. You start attracting divine ideas. You start attracting people who carry the answers you've been praying for. The enemy wants to keep you distracted by the size of your problem, because as long as you're focused on the obstacle, you'll forget that the one who created the universe lives inside of you. But when you shift your focus and start lifting God higher in your thoughts and words, you'll start walking in authority again. Magnify him in your prayer life. Instead of spending your entire prayer time telling God about your problems, start telling your problems about your God. Declare his promises out loud. Speak his word over your situation. Thank him for his goodness. Worship him for his greatness. Magnify him in your conversations. Stop giving more airtime to the problem than you give to the solution. Speak faith. Speak victory, speak expectation. People around you need to hear your faith, not your fear. Magnify him in your thoughts. When worry tries to creep in, replace it with worship. When anxiety tries to grip your heart, respond with adoration. When fear knocks on the door, answer it with faith declarations. Magnifying God doesn't make him bigger. He's already bigger than anything you'll ever face, but it makes him bigger in your perspective. It puts him back in his rightful place in your mind and heart. It reminds you that he's in control, that he's undefeated, that he's never lost a battle, that he's working behind the scenes, that he's ordering your steps, that he's making a way even when you can't see it. Thank God before the blessing shows up. Thanking God after the blessing arrives is good manners. Thanking God before the blessing shows up is faith. It's easy to praise when the bank account is full, the report is positive, the door is open, and the breakthrough is visible. But real kingdom power is found when you lift your hands, open your mouth, and say, "Thank you, God," while you're still standing in the waiting room of life. There's something powerful about a person who can worship in advance. It's a signal to heaven that you trust God's timing, his process, and his provision. When you thank God in advance, you're stepping out of natural reasoning and stepping into supernatural expectation. You're telling the enemy that no matter what it looks like right now, you believe the promise is already on its way. This is the faith that moves mountains. This is the kind of faith that gets God's attention. When you thank him before the healing, before the job offer, before the contract, before the phone call, before the promotion, you're showing God that you trust him beyond what your eyes can see. Think about Abraham. God told him he would be the father of many nations when he didn't even have one child. And what did Abraham do? The Bible says he staggered not at the promise of God through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to God. Abraham praised God for being a father while he was still childless. That's next level faith. You may be looking at a situation right now that doesn't match the promise God gave you. You may feel like you're stuck in a holding pattern, but your advanced praise is the key that unlocks the next phase of your life. Thank God now for the doors that are opening. Thank him now for the provision that's coming. Thank him now for the healing that's manifesting. Thank him now for the relationships being restored. The reason most people stay stuck is that they wait for visible proof before they open their mouths in gratitude. But your faith doesn't work like that. Faith believes it's done before it's seen. Faith celebrates the victory before the battle is over. Faith thanks God while the paint is still wet, while the foundation is still being laid, while the harvest is still under the soil. There's something about advanced gratitude that puts a demand on the spiritual realm. It tells heaven you're serious about your expectation. It tells God you believe his word over your feelings. It silences the lies of the enemy and strengthens your spirit for the journey ahead. You can't afford to wait until everything lines up. Start thanking God now. Thank him in the hallway. Thank him during the process. Thank him while you're still wiping away tears. Thank him while you're still patching up broken pieces. Because that advanced praise is a down payment on the breakthrough that's already heading your way. A thankful heart attracts divine opportunities. Opportunities don't just fall into your lap by accident. They are attracted by your attitude, your expectation, and your spiritual posture. A thankful heart creates an environment where doors begin to open, people begin to notice, and favor begins to flow in your direction. Gratitude is like a magnet in the spirit realm. It pulls divine opportunities out of places you didn't even know existed. When you walk around complaining, grumbling, and focusing on what you don't have, you create a barrier between you and the very opportunities God is trying to send your way. But when you carry a thankful heart, you create an atmosphere that invites favor, creativity, and unexpected connections. God is drawn to gratitude. Opportunities are drawn to people who know how to steward the small things with thankfulness. If you can't thank God for the little, why would he trust you with the big? If you can't be grateful for the season you're in now, why would he accelerate your timeline? to the next level? A thankful heart is a heart that's ready for more. It signals to heaven that you recognize God's hand in your life, even in the small details. And when God sees that kind of heart posture, he begins to release bigger assignments, greater resources, and more impactful connections. Think about the people you enjoy being around. Are they the complainers? Are they the ones who always talk about what's wrong? Or are they the ones who celebrate what's right, who notice the good, who speak with gratitude and expectation? Divine opportunities work the same way. They gravitate toward people who carry a spirit of thanksgiving. Gratitude sharpens your perspective. It helps you see opportunities others overlook. Where one person sees an obstacle, a thankful person sees a door. Where one person sees lack, a thankful person sees seed. Where one person sees delay, a thankful person sees divine timing at work. When you start your day with gratitude, you tune your spirit to recognize the favor that's already surrounding you. You position yourself to hear God's instructions, to meet the right people, to be in the right place at the right time. Opportunities aren't always loud. Sometimes they come disguised as small conversations, little moments, or quiet nudges. A thankful heart stays sensitive enough to recognize them. Gratitude doesn't just attract opportunities, it prepares you to maximize them. It keeps you humble, focused, and full of faith. It reminds you that every open door is a gift from God, not something you earned or deserved on your own. And when you carry that kind of mindset, God can trust you with more, knowing you'll handle it with wisdom and stewardship. Gratitude transforms waiting rooms into birthing rooms for blessings. Most people hate waiting. They complain, get frustrated, and start doubting God's timing. But gratitude shifts the atmosphere of your waiting season. It turns the waiting room into a place of expectation, preparation, and spiritual growth. When you start thanking God in the waiting, you're not just passing time, you're preparing the soil for the blessing that's about to be birthed. Gratitude changes how you perceive the delay. Instead of thinking, why is this taking so long? You start saying, God, thank you for what you're developing in me during this time. Waiting with gratitude turns anxiety into anticipation. It turns fear into faith. It turns frustration into focus. Just like a mother waits in expectation before giving birth, your gratitude becomes the labor pains that bring the promise to life. You start realizing that the delay was never denial. It was divine preparation for something bigger than you imagined. Every day you wake up is proof that God's not finished with you yet. Waking up every morning is not random chance. It's divine evidence that your purpose is still unfolding. If you're still breathing, God still has plans for you. Every new day is another opportunity to fulfill your assignment, to grow, to impact others, and to walk in the fullness of what God created you for. Gratitude should rise in your heart the moment your eyes open, because that breath you just took is a gift. That heartbeat still pounding in your chest is a sign that heaven still has business for you on earth. When you understand this truth, you won't waste time complaining about yesterday or worrying about tomorrow. You'll get up with fresh expectation, thanking God for life, for strength, for wisdom, and for the opportunities waiting for you. So let me remind you what we just walked through today. Gratitude is the gateway to breakthrough. It's not a suggestion, it's the access code to your next level. Thanking God shifts your focus from problems to possibility. It forces you to stop looking at what's wrong and start expecting what's right. Praise unlocks supernatural favor. If you want doors to open that no man can shut, open your mouth in praise first. Your next blessing is one prayer of thanks away. Don't let another day go by without sending up a thank you for what's already coming your way. Gratitude activates faith, and faith activates miracles. Every time you thank God, you're telling heaven, I believe it's already done. Stop magnifying your problems and start magnifying God. Get your focus right and watch your life follow your faith. Thank God before the blessing shows up. Advanced praise is how kingdom people roll. A thankful heart attracts divine opportunities. God responds to thankful stewards, not bitter complainers. Gratitude transforms waiting rooms into birthing rooms for blessings. The delay is just preparation for delivery, and every day you wake up is proof that God's not finished with you yet. If you're still breathing, there's still a purpose for you to fulfill. There's still victories with your name on them. There's still favor waiting to find you. There's still prayers God is about to answer. So wake up, get up, and start thanking him like the breakthrough is already here. Listen, if this message shook your spirit, if this fired you up, if you know somebody who needs to stop complaining and start thanking God, do me a favor right now, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, share this video with somebody you love, and drop a big amen in the comments below if you're claiming this word today. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you want exclusive faith-based business strategies, behind-the-scenes content, and direct kingdom coaching from me, click the join button and become part of our channel membership family today. This is Myron Golden Track, where we don't just speak motivation. We activate transformation and teach you how to unlock God's best for your life and your business. Now get up, go out, and thank God like the blessing is already here. Stay blessed.